是我见过最丧心病狂的拷问方式。女孩本是王国中实力最顶尖的公主殿下，却因一时不慎被魔王军抓入牢中。
So in order to make her tell the information obediently, the Demon King's army sent out a group of people who had been frightened by countless people. Highest-ranking interrogator, with this charming woman, slowly open the torture tool next to you. The heroine's gloomy life from now on has begun. Looking at the cell that suddenly became bright at this time, Holy Sword was dumbfounded. Seeing that the heroine is still speaking harshly, the interrogator picked up the fan and waved it gently. Next second, the fragrant aroma poured into the heroine's brain. She seemed to see herself dancing in the golden wheat field. However, before the heroine can indulge in it for a while, Holy Sword's shocked voice, then she was suddenly brought back to reality. So in order to maintain the remaining dignity of herself, the heroine started her confusing quibbles. But she never expected the torturer's brutal interrogation has actually just begun. As the woman slowly tore open the toast, that wonderful tearing sound made the heroine feel as if she is in heaven. But this is not enough. You know, she is the leader of the Third Knight Order of the Kingdom. Whenever soldiers encounter an invincible monster, she will appear like a Valkyrie. Then she used her sword technique chosen by the king to defeat the monster on the spot with one move. Based on her outstanding military exploits, countless soldiers even worshipped her as a god. Such an awesome person. How could he succumb to this level of torture? That being the case, the torturer is no longer pretending. She took out a plate that she had just finished eating beef stew. She took the toast and dipped it in. Ignore the heroine's drool all over the floor. The interrogator slowly put the toast into his mouth. Awesome. Looking at the heroine who has already fallen into the party carnival, Holy Sword feels like his worldview is collapsing. However, things are not over yet. Because of the information revealed by the heroine, the Demon King's army can't be victorious. The interrogator had to intensify the interrogation of the heroine again, but this time is not that time. The heroine was hungry yesterday. She just accidentally fell into the trap with that toast feast before. Holy Sword doesn't believe it. The heroine can fall twice in the same place. However, he didn't even wait for 2 more seconds. Behind the torturer, then a food truck making takoyaki appeared. Seeing this scene, Holy Sword almost laughed out loud. You must know that the heroine is a princess. What delicacies has she not seen before? How could she succumb to such common people's cuisine? But unfortunately, it is not as good as God. The heroine is a member of the royal family. She can only watch the common people eating takoyaki every day, while being intimate with someone close to them. In fact, she was very envious. Enjoy the delicious takoyaki in your mouth. The heroine who was familiar with her once and twice became a collaborator on the spot. She even had the guts to show off in front of the Holy Sword. However, even though the Demon King's army has learned the hidden location of the kingdom's strongest weapon, they can't use this terrible weapon at all. So the torturer had to take action again. This time she set the time to 12 midnight, and took out a bowl of top-quality ramen that was both delicious and tasty. Originally, the heroine was actually able to resist, so the torture officer had no choice but to eat ramen. She even performed a facial expression. As expected, the heroine fell into trouble again this time. She can wait until the interrogator returns to the room. She discovered the information provided by the heroine this time. It's still useless. Just as she was deep in thought, the door behind her suddenly opened. The day of torture has finally arrived again. However, today's torturer is not the succubus, but a pair of sisters from the ghost tribe. They are the red-haired sister Yang Gue, and the purple-haired sister Yin Gue. Don't look at it. The 2 sisters' torture officer levels are only mid-level, but the combination of skills they have, even the succubus must be in awe. Seeing that the heroine's expression at this time has gradually become serious, she saw 2 sisters smiling evilly. A huge gaming machine appeared. Then they put it in front of the heroine. Although I don't know where the power supply comes from in this cell, but looking at the ghost sisters who were having fun at this time, Holy Sword is just a big laugh. You must know that the heroine is on the battlefield, the existence known as the Lonely Knight. How could a mere video game seduce her? At this moment, the sound of the Holy Sword suddenly woke up the heroine. Yes, to become stronger. She has received strict training since she was a child. Only the blade is qualified to be the medium through which she communicates with others. She doesn't need friends or anything like that. It's better now. The heroine who tried a multiplayer game for the first time instantly commented on the pitfalls, even though they clearly didn't touch each other. But that warm feeling, she couldn't suppress the smile on her face at all. Now, the heroine seems to have become a female knight in the game. Not only can she enjoy the fun of playing against friends, but also take the opportunity to reminisce about the fun of flying, her feat of challenging the demons alone. As expected, this time the heroine confessed without any resistance, but this time she didn't gain nothing. At least it's still on her phone. For the first time, a friend's contact information appears. At the same time, the Demon King also learned the information provided by the heroine. It is said that there will be fewer guards at the east gate of the royal capital on Wednesday. There is no doubt about it. It is news of great strategic value. In response to this, the Demon King shook his wine glass gracefully, slowly said a few words. Since it is such a big thing as making up classes, the succubus has nothing to say. She can only think of new torture methods to torture the heroine. Just do it. Coming back this time as Cat Ear Girl, the messenger of Warcraft from the Demon King's army. Seeing her cute look, Holy Sword laughed again with a familiar laugh. I remember when the heroine was surrounded by countless rampaging beasts. She easily killed them all with just one sword. He didn't believe that the heroine would give in easily this time. Just then, accompanied by the call of the beast-eared girl, Taoist's shadow suddenly appeared at the door. Thanks to the Holy Sword for reminding her, the heroine finally found her original intention. She won't give in to such a cute little animal, as everyone knows. At this time, the torture of the beast-eared girl has just begun. First she raised the little bear's ball high, then look at the other person's pitiful little appearance, indifferently, although it is cruel. But this is the torture method of the beast-eared girl. As long as the heroine confesses, she immediately returned the ball to the little bear. Hearing this sentence, the heroine was so angry that her teeth itched. But she didn't expect that she would realize something was wrong the next second. At this time, the subtle little movements of the beast-eared girl, obviously it means that she is not so calm in her heart. Thanks to the heroine's righteous killing of relatives this time, 2 people and 1 bear all got happiness. Only Holy Sword feels like a clown. But obviously, the heroine's information this time is still useless. So this time the succubus decided to change the method. Then after she closed the heroine's facial features, the heroine was slowly sent into a hot spring. Looking at the empty surroundings at this time, the heroine is obviously a little confused. But I don't want the next second. A huge figure slowly walked out of the mist. Only the Holy Sword is awake at this time. He was very curious as to why the heroine was brought here. In fact, the reason is very simple. That's of course because hot springs are very comfortable. A relaxed atmosphere is more suitable for people to express their feelings. Holy Sword didn't expect. How could the Demon King use such ugly gentle tactics? You must know that the heroine is the leader of the Third Knights. She grew up in an environment where she was not allowed to act coquettishly. This gave her a willpower of steel. However, before the Holy Sword is finished showing off, the heroine's intoxicated expression slapped him hard in the face. Looking at the fake mother pressing towards him step by step, the heroine was dumbfounded at the same time. He was held in her arms without any resistance. This moment, the heroine seems to have returned to the time when she was a baby, and it was the gentle cow sister who was carrying her. Mother. Awesome. No surprise, the heroine recruits again this time. And the information she provided this time was quite explosive. Tomorrow the 2 ghosts of Yin and Yang plan to go to the amusement park, so they hope the princess can go and play together. But it requires the consent of the succubus chief torturer. The princess decided to ask. After all, it's not good to say no without even trying it. But the succubus ruthlessly rejected the princess. The princess was furious. Being a prisoner and being tortured every day. I don't even have the freedom to go to an amusement park. Upon seeing this, the succubus agreed to let her exchange the kingdom's secrets. The Holy Sword turns into a king of understanding in seconds. I think the Yin Yang ghosts and succubi are in cahoots. Deliberately used the amusement park to trick her into telling her secrets. The succubus is proud that the demons will not do anything dirty. The Yin Yang ghost must really want to play with the princess. Then the princess remains silent for 2.5 hours. It's almost time for the park to open. As long as the princess is willing to explain, the succubus used teleportation magic to send her there. The princess gritted her teeth and still held on. As the leader of the Third Knights, she has experienced various battlefields in the past. She has also been betrayed by people she thought were friends, so she won't be deceived again. With the park opening time coming, the succubus admitted that she lost this time. Although the princess was happy, she stopped the torture, but she really still wants to play with the ghosts. At this time, the 2 ghosts sent messages saying that they will wait at the door until the princess comes and then go in. Then the princess put on a cute dress and came to join them. She finally realized the happiness of having friends. Her heart will leap with joy. The Yin Yang ghosts reported the information from today's torture to the succubus. The king prefers the ocean to the land. Unexpectedly, the devil is seasick, so this secret is worthless. And the Demon King also plans to let his daughter personally take charge of tomorrow's torture. The next day the succubus came to the prison and knelt down on one knee. The princess thought she was kneeling on her knees. The succubus finally discovered how great she is. Little did she know that the reason why she knelt down was that the demon king's daughter would show up for torture today. She is not only the devil's favorite only daughter, or the super superior trainee torturer. The princess fell instantly and couldn't resist the cute appearance of the little devil. No matter what she asked, the princess was willing to answer. Holy Sword is worried that she is the daughter of the demon king after all. He reminded the princess to never be careless just because she is a child. Unexpectedly, Little Momo took the initiative and started selling miserably. Although everyone is full of expectations for the demon king's daughter, but she has never succeeded in interrogating. After saying that, the little devil started to drop little pearls. She felt that she might not be suitable for the job of torture. The princess went against the will and stepped forward to enlighten her. It doesn't matter if you fail every time. One day her efforts will be rewarded. And let the little devil try to torture herself. The little devil was aroused and began to torture. She saw her taking out her favorite bubble wrap. The princess would definitely be envious if she popped the bubble in front of her. The princess looked embarrassed. To be honest, she wasn't envious at all, she just thought little Momo was cute. But she still wanted to tell the little devil all the secrets. The succubus encourages the little devil to work harder and she will succeed. Little Momo opens up directly and bursts a large number of bubbles in one go. This is a special move she will only use on special days. The princess suffered the most difficult torture yet. Upon seeing this, little Momo planned to strike while the iron was hot. Unexpectedly, all the bubbles were popped by her just now. Little Momo is sad that she failed even though she tried very hard. The princess couldn't stand it any longer and immediately chose to confess. She handed over the battle code of the king's army. The succubus is satisfied that the princess is no longer useful. She let the princess do whatever she wanted to do with the little devil. The little devil wants to play tricks with the princess and catch people. The demon king is really awesome too. I really disagree. The princess got an important battle signal from her mouth. But does he intend to use this in the war with humans? Just because this is the result of my lovely daughter's first torture. So he wants to frame it and keep it, and will never show it to anyone else. Outrageous. Today the succubus wore a cheongsam and tortured the princess. Just because today's torture topic is the princess's favorite Chinese food. The holy sword instantly broke out in sweat. It will definitely be difficult for the princess to survive this time, although she never made it through every time. However, the princess was unusually calm. She didn't show her silly face like before. As everyone knows, the princess likes Chinese food the most. She used to go out to eat with the butler often. She also have trouble choosing between mapo tofu dumplings and fried rice. So every time the princess ordered them all and put them into one bowl. But the only exception is xiaolongbao, because the dough is filled with hot soup. She'll definitely get burned if she put it in your mouth. The succubus told her that she would get burned because she didn't eat it the right way. Xiaolongbao cannot be put directly into your mouth. Instead, put it into a spoon first and then use chopsticks to spread the dough. The princess has a hard mouth, but it looks delicious when she pulls it out. But all the essence locked inside has been lost. So you should first taste the soup flowing out of it. The princess insists that the steamed dumplings without soup have no soul, so the succubus won't drink all the soup. Instead, the skin and broth are presented in a perfect 3-in-1 state. Now the princess really can't bear it. She chose to do it before being eaten by the succubus. Security is most relaxed during the shift change time in the morning of each program. The succubus suggested taking advantage of this time to launch an attack, but was rejected by the Demon King, just because there will be a lot of dramas that he is following that will be broadcast on Sunday, and he is a first broadcaster. At the same time, the knight came to save the princess. It took me 2.5 days to finally finish chanting the spell. At this time, the entire Demon King city fell into a deep sleep. The knight sneaked into the prison and wanted to take the princess away. The princess' expression is dull but her mind is full of thoughts. She has been taught since she was a child to become stronger. When she looked at girls my age who are still yearning for their own prince, she said she didn't need these things. However, privately, the princess will actually blush when reading a shoujo manga, and hope that one day there will be a self-horse prince to save her. The princess couldn't believe it and thought she was dreaming. Having said that, the princess thinks that the knight's appearance is more suitable for marriage. In fact, he confessed that he spent a lot of time looking for the princess. Can his sleeping spell last for a few more minutes? Therefore, he can only use teleportation magic to return to the castle in one go. The writer suddenly blushed and said, "When two people use it together, they must be close to each other." The princess didn't care about sticking them together and just let him stick them casually. Unexpectedly, the princess looks calm on the outside, but inside she feels like 10,000 deer are crashing around her. This is the first time she has been so close to a man. It made her feel that the other person had become a lot more handsome, but the knight was too focused on chanting the spell. His hands began to exert force unconsciously, but a princess is different from a delicate girl. As the princess is leader of the third knights, this little strength is nothing. Compared with the strength, she felt that the knight's hand seemed to slide upward. I'm about to meet Appa. The princess was about to remind her but found that the knight was super focused, so she didn't notice it at all. The princess forced herself to calm down. The day she became a warrior, she abandoned the concept of gender. Even if you encounter it, it's not a big deal. Awesome. The succubus said that she wanted to change the method of torture. At this moment, the holy sword is completely broken. No matter what tricks the succubus uses, the princess will do it anyway. The princess was stunned. The long-established trust with holy sword fell to the bottom in just a few days. The princess promises that she will survive today. Unexpectedly, the protagonist being tortured today was not her. Then the weapon craftsman of the Demon King's army. Part-time junior interrogator Gil suddenly appears. Without saying a word, he came to the holy sword and lifted his hands. Just because the holy sword is the thing being tortured today, the holy sword is proud to be the sword that has served the royal family for a long time. It has followed countless famous knights in thousands of battles. It's not that easy to get it to give in. Gil first needs to help it wipe off the small rust stains on the sword. Holy sword mouth string body upright. Make a sound that cannot be broadcast outside. Then Gil gently helped it polish the sword. It only took 2.5 minutes for the holy sword to fall, but he still refuses to reveal the secrets of the kingdom. The princess admired it. If it had been her, she would have done it 3 times. When Gil saw this, she stopped continuing, although she really wants to provide a one-stop service. But after all, this is a torture scene. The holy sword reassures the princess. As a holy sword, it will not betray its master for selfish desires. In order to torture the princess, the beast girl appears again this time. Unexpectedly, the scene immediately turned into a large-scale pet exchange scene. This time, the little bear didn't come because he had to look after the house, but she invited the princess to come and play at home. She still has a lot of furry babies that she can introduce to the princess. This time the pet brought by Beast Girl is the invincible and powerful fighting beast Mad Wolf. The wolves are the strongest race in terms of combat power. The princess is confident that she has fought the big bad wolf before. Although she went through a hard battle, she won. Little did she know that the crazy wolf in front of her was the top fighting force among the wolf clan. If the princess is confused, wouldn't it be the end? As the beast girl announced that the torture had begun, the crazy wolf waved its sharp claws. Unexpectedly, Mad Wolf's style of painting suddenly changed midway. What is the most attractive part of Mad Wolf? That must be a big and cute meatball. And the meat pad smells very good. The taste of the meat pad is real. Don't ask me how I know that, but it was so crazy that the princess couldn't be envious at all. Seeing that the princess is not interested in meat pads, she can't fix the beast girl anymore. After all, the smell of Crazy Wolf's meatballs is stronger than that of cats and dogs. Little did she know that the princess had never smelled it. The beast girl was surprised that she was wasting her life. So she hoped the princess can smell it and see it. But the princess only smelled the smell of beast. In order for the princess to smell it, the beast girl revealed that the succubus's mobile phone standby screen is her niece who was recently born. The princess had no choice but to smell it a few more times. Then she finally discovered that in the smell of beasts, it seems to be mixed with a popcorn-like aroma. The meatball itself is also full of elasticity. It feels really comfortable to touch. The princess couldn't help but feel her face. Unexpectedly, she became addicted immediately. Thanks to Beast Girl for helping her open the door to a new world of meatballs, the princess can appreciate the cuteness of the meatball, which makes the Beast Girl very happy. She proposed a meatball party. Good guy, really good guy. Who can resist this room full of furry pets? Anyway, not even the holy sword can withstand it. On this day, the little devil wanted to practice his torture skills, so she took the princess to the Devil's Forest Park. Next, she wanted the princess to see her having fun. There is no doubt that little Momo is cute every second. Holy Sword has guessed the ending and the princess will probably play together. The princess asked him to put her mind at ease. She will never confess this time. Although the little devil is indeed cute, but this is completely different from whether the princess wants to play with her or not, because she doesn't like parks. The princess has been banned from playing in the park since she was a child, just because she is a royal. This teaching has been engraved in her bones, so the park won't give her the idea of wanting to play. Holy Sword also thought that the princess was okay again, as expected of the princess and leader of the Third Knights. Unexpectedly, the princess immediately revealed her true form. She actually wants to play with everyone. In the end, the princess couldn't help but take action. Afterwards, the Demon King's general staff wanted to see the kingdom's security code that the princess had confessed. He asked the Demon King to hand over the note with the password to them. It's a pity that the devil also got the video of the little devil playing that day. He was watching too intently. As a result, he didn't know where he put the note afterwards. Since this princess has been a prisoner of the Demon King's army, she was forced to undergo various cruel tortures every day. Today the succubus took the princess to the river. The princess thought this torture was about playing with water in the river, although she said she would not give in because of playing in the water. But in her heart, she can't wait to confess. It turns out that they went to the river for the marshmallows. Unexpectedly, the princess didn't like the sticky feeling of marshmallows. Because this torture did not make her surrender, she suggested that it would be more appropriate to play in the river instead. Little did you know that this was no ordinary marshmallow, but marshmallows that can be roasted. They came to the river because it is safe to make a fire. The princess has a tough mouth and it's no use even baking it. However, when the surface of the marshmallow was browned, the princess couldn't help it. The succubus promised to let her eat one for inspection first. The holy sword understood that the succubus wanted the princess, who had never tasted it before, to remember the taste, then make her feel itchy and unbearable to confess the secret again. Succubus know how to praise and kill. She said she recommended it to the princess out of goodwill. Besides, as a princess, she is also the leader of the Third Night Order. She is strict with discipline and has an iron will that has been tempered countless times. How could she possibly give in just because she know the taste of roasted marshmallows? I have never seen a princess slapped in the face so quickly. At this moment, she seemed to be roaming in a sea of marshmallows, feeling full of happiness. As long as she is willing to reveal the secrets of the kingdom, she can eat another one. However, Succubu is also a decent person. Just a secret and you can eat it openly. So the princess recruited. The opportunity was so rare that the succubus agreed to let her go to the river and play in the water. After all, recruiting a secret princess would be useless. The princess got her wish and played in the river with the little painter. The succubus immediately reported the secret to the general staff. City gate guards are not good at dealing with fire attacks. But there are very few people who are good at dealing with fire-type attacks. Most creatures are afraid of fire. The Demon King not only thinks the secret is useless, he also ordered the succubus to ask another secret from the princess. The succubus was shocked. She was worried that the body of the princess who was tortured twice a day would be overwhelmed. At this moment, the princess also noticed that the succubus seemed to have no energy. Holy Sword expressed that the secret she told the devil was not satisfied. He just pricked up his ears and eavesdropped. The devil ordered the succubus to conduct a second torture. The princess is also afraid that she can't bear it. That's why the succubus is so troubled. The Holy Sword must maintain absolute sanity and cannot take the initiative to reveal secrets just because of pity. It's natural for the princess to be tough-tongued. As the princess and the leader of the Third Knights, she crossed countless battlefields and killed countless enemies. Therefore it is absolutely impossible to sympathize with the enemy. On the contrary, the succubus who worries about her is the innocent guy. At this moment, the succubus admires the devil as he is indeed the incarnation of evil. The devil's judgment must be correct. As an interrogator, she should carry out her orders unconditionally. But the succubus still moved her heart. Maybe I'm not qualified to be an interrogator. The princess suddenly came up to offer warmth. The weather is nice today, suitable for washing clothes. When it comes to doing laundry, her old king father likes to wear briefs. Good people will not have bad luck. Then the two ghosts of Yin and Yang also came here in a kayak. The succubus wants to let the princess have fun. Let the two little guys come over and play together in advance. Sister Bachi sees that the princess is sunburned and is not suitable for hot springs. Therefore, today's torture will be changed to go to the sauna. But the princess doesn't know what a sauna is. But the first time she came to the sauna made the princess feel so hot. She can't stop sweating all over her body. Torture is simply like interrogating a sample paper. The princess was surprised and thought it was all Bachi's plan. She deliberately said nice things to lure her in for torture. The princess is confident that if an ordinary person faces this high temperature, they must have told all their secrets long ago. But she is not only the princess but also the leader of the Third Knights. Whether it's the scorching desert or the bitter cold snowy mountains, she can defeat her enemies calmly. Therefore, this level of torture would not be difficult for her at all. The princess thought that she had not sweated so much for a long time. Since being a prisoner, she eats 3 meals a day every day. After dealing with the torture, she wanted to give up her sleeping life in prison. The long-lost sweat made her feel very comfortable again. The princess was shocked. At first she just thought this place was a scorching hell. Now she feels that the heat is very nice. She is in a place she doesn't usually come to. Let her worldly worries gradually evaporate. But as soon as she felt comfortable, Bachi let her out. Don't stay too long if you come here for the first time. The next project is to soak in the cold spring. The princess was once again shocked who would enter the water with only 10 degrees Celsius. But when she think about the sauna just now, she feel uncomfortable at first and then feel comfortable. The princess decided to believe what Bachi's mother said. It turned out to be extremely cold. But once you get used to it, you feel very comfortable. The heat of the body continues to spread outwards. The whole person seems to be melting. So the princess decided to recruit. The princess will face a new torture tonight. A bunch of monsters gathered in front of her. Among them is little Black Caesar, the leader that the princess once defeated. The wound left by the princess is still aching. She thought the people in front of her were enemies she had defeated before. But unexpectedly, it was a big mistake. Caesar's appearance here has nothing to do with past grudges. This torture was a courage test planned by Yang Gui himself. The monsters in front of you will hide in the dark abandoned school building, in a room full of monsters. These scary masters will allow her to experience horror like never before. Having said that, the princess found out why Yang Gui was not there. It turns out that Yang Gui catch a cold because he slept with his belly exposed. The princess is worried and wants to go visit. Succubus refuses and it's torture time. She can't go anywhere until the torture is over. On the contrary, once the torture is over, she will be free. The Holy Sword just wants to recall the princess's great achievements. The princess directly confessed that there was a secret passage into the royal city in the mountains to the east. Today the succubus torturer came to the cell with a hot iron. This scared the princess so much. Holy Sword firmly believes that the princess has experienced countless life and death moments. This little bit of suffering can definitely be overcome. However, the princess has the toughest mouth in her whole body, but her body and mind have already been panicked. Little did she know that today's torture was actually not that terrible. The succubus just wants to use a heated iron to get a rich and stringy delicious cheese. The princess's little pearl keeps falling. She almost thought it would be mailed today. Then the princess drifted off and felt that she was okay again. Cheese is nothing compared to the fear of a soldering iron. But as the cheese continued to melt, the princess finally revealed her true form. When the succubus scrapes off the melted cheese, the princess decisively surrendered. It's a pity that it still failed to satisfy the devil. But we can't continue to torture the princess tomorrow, just because the Demon King's army wanted to let the prisoners live a healthy life in prison. Every month, prisoners will be given physical examinations. Therefore, the little zombie is not here today. Only the succubus is responsible for the physical examination of the princess. Seeing that blood was about to be drawn, the princess trembled all over. The princess's mouth is not as hard as usual. You can see the succubus installing the needle and the princess can no longer hold on. Just like being accidentally scratched by a piece of paper, she doesn't care. But she couldn't stand the thought of cutting her finger with paper next. Besides, she doesn't know if succubus injection is professional or not. What should she do if she always failed to puncture the blood vessel? Little did they know that the succubus used to be a nurse. The uniforms she wore now were those she wore at that time. The princess got scared and started talking nonsense. She can even give up her dignity and reputation in order to avoid injections. She even offered to join the Demon King's army. The succubus doesn't want to see the princess so sad. It just so happens that the Demon King army has local anesthesia stickers. If the princess wants to use it, tell her a secret. Even with local anesthesia, the princess still panicked. But while she was scared, the injections had already been given. The princess sincerely thanks modern medicine for being so awesome. The Demon King is also a weirdo. He heard about the hiding place of the kingdom's national treasure, but he didn't plan to steal it. It would be so pitiful if a national treasure was stolen. The brave man once again bravely enters the Demon King's castle to rescue the princess. Last time, the princess couldn't stand being touched by European style. She can only take action and knock the brave man away. But the brave man thought he had failed to hold the princess because he was too focused. So this time he has to use the newly learned top transfer magic to save the princess. The brave man repeats his old tricks and puts the Demon King's castle into sleep again. This time, his newly learned magic can teleport the princess away without touching her. The brave man takes off his helmet and reveals his handsome face to explain. His new magic can transfer materials within range. But since life forms and objects cannot be transferred at the same time, therefore, the human body and clothes can only be transmitted separately. He wants to teleport the clothes away first. Having said that, the brave man enters the focus mode. The princess was so confused that she was worried that she would be naked. As the princess and the leader of the Third Knights, she will never give in to mere nakedness. What a ghost! Then the princess discovered that the hero didn't notice her at all. Therefore, there is no need to worry about being seen by the brave man. But she doesn't know where she will be teleported to. But there must be a bunch of people guarding the teleportation point. As the fabric on the body gradually decomposes, the princess still can't accept being naked. Therefore, she can only swing the ruthless holy sword at the brave man and knock him away twice. One word, awesome. The succubus gives the information that she finally tortured from the princess to the devil. But there will be a sports meeting at Little Momo School tomorrow. The Demon King wanted to get up early to occupy a seat and had no time to watch. So the succubus took her friends to cheer for the little devil. At this time, the devil was very unhappy. The camera broke at the critical moment when little Momo appeared. The devil thinks it's all humans' fault. Piggy George is on point. Remind the devil that he just forgot to open the lens cap. Yang Gui discovered that the person standing next to the little devil was Inju. The other party is Gui's younger brother. In the end, Inju was the better one and crossed the line first. The demonic world is not sociable. He actually beat the Demon King's daughter. But in the devil world, no matter who the opponent is, the game is the game. The devil is happy and the little devil put on a wonderful game. Next, the succubus and the interrogators need to leave to help move things. The next competition is the parent-child event of two-person kangaroo jump. After the Holy Sword reacts, won't the Demon King also want to participate? Just looking from a distance, the princess felt a strong sense of oppression. This is the first time she has seen the Demon King himself after living in the Demon King's army for so long. At this time, the devil looked proud. He knew that the princess was also watching the sports meeting, and seems to be enjoying it. Little did he know that there would be a hell waiting for the princess in the afternoon. Ever since he knew that the princess would also appear, the devil sent people to make preparations in advance, a stage where he and the princess face off for the first time. During the lunch break, Succubus prepared a sumptuous lunch for everyone. The princess just said thank you. The succubus suddenly blushed with honey. Then the princess thought that she would be tortured before she could eat it. But she forgot that today is the weekend. The Demon King's army had weekends off, so they never tortured her. The last game of the sports meeting is the borrowing competition. The devil handed over the photo taking to Piggy George. He was confident that George must have felt it vaguely. This borrowing competition is the stage for him and the princess to face off. George was shocked and felt lonely. The so-called borrowing competition is to run to the note placed on the track. In the race where players borrowed something written on a piece of paper from the audience and rushed to the finish line together. The devil cheated and arranged in advance that the topic that the little devil would get was the person she liked. He was convinced that he was the one chosen by little Momo. Although the princess and the little devil seem to have a good relationship, but they are just friends after all. The devil wants the princess to see what true love is. He wants to make the princess admire me. When the little devil saw the question, the devil was already ready to play. Unexpectedly, the little devil chose the devil princess. Let's not talk about choosing the holy sword. Driving a car is really a bit outrageous. In the end, the little devil and the princess won the first place. The devil takes the stage to give a speech. Everyone performed very well as the pillars of the future Demon King's army. In order to reward everyone for their hard work, the devil will give everyone a bare medal. Afterwards, the princess thanked the princess for taking care of the little devil. The princess thanked her for being tortured by the little devil. She thinks the princess is a gentle woman. This girl vampire comes from the famous family of the Demon King's army. In her opinion, the so-called torture is not about laughing and joking, but it counts if the other party is so scared that he kneels down crying and secretly begs for mercy. So she planned to let the princess experience what horror is. The succubus introduced that the person who tortured the princess today was senior interrogator Vanilla Perseus. Holy Sword was shocked. Even it has heard of Perseus. That's the famous vampire clan of the Demon King's army. It is said that the entire family is the most cruel. As the eldest lady of contemporary Perseus, Vanilla heard that the princess usually received torture that was not scary. Today she wants the princess to see her. What is a frightening and desperate torture? Then Vanilla took the princess to the roller coaster park. Nothing wrong. The torture project she prepared was a roller coaster ride. And this is no ordinary roller coaster. This is the most shocking project from the highest angle in the devil world. She showed the princess how ordinary demons trembled with fear. As long as the princess cries and begs for mercy and tells her secret words, she promised not to let the princess sit on it. Vanilla thought the princess was just bluffing. Unexpectedly, the succubus asked her to sit with princess. After all, the princess may surrender and reveal the secret on the way. If she is scared, the succubus promised to go up for her. Vanilla is a tough talker, but she regretted it after sitting on it. She only hoped that the princess will confess in advance because of fear. Now she can also make the roller coaster come to an emergency stop. The princess is so cool. There is absolutely no thought of confessing. Vanilla is stupid. This is completely different from what she thought. As the roller coaster reaches its highest point, Vanilla actually confessed herself. She can't sleep without holding a doll. Vanilla confessed that she really didn't dare to ride a roller coaster. Even the most ordinary girl is worried that she will fall. As a vampire of the Perseus family, her weakness was discovered by the enemy. This makes Vanilla feel that her life is over. Unexpectedly, the princess thought she was very powerful. For the purpose of torture work, she even dared to try the things she was afraid of. This awareness made her very admired. The princess took the initiative to reach out and hold her tightly. Then you won't be afraid. The princess promises that she will never fall. Princess is awesome. Vanilla gave in. She lost this time. As the loser, she will answer a question from the princess. The princess wants to know about the rides she can play with. After all, it's rare to come here. Then you have to have a good time. Afterwards, Vanilla admired the photos of the amusement park. Obviously she is already in love with the princess. But the tsundere will never be won over by the princess. It's time for the princess torture again. But before that, the succubus handed over the comfort gift given to her by the little devil. It's the handmade biscuits little Momo made before. The succubus refused and now eats with the princess. Please don't act like you have a good relationship during work. If you have anything to do, wait until the torture is over. Today's succubus torture item is black tea. She received information that the princess likes to drink black tea the most. Tea parties and afternoon tea used to be held. The princess misses this very much. It was a pleasant time that could make her forget about the battlefield. But it's a pity that her favorite tea is just a diplomatic pretense. The princess's favorite thing is always happy water. Seeing the succubus take the lead in warming the teapot, the princess saw that the succubus also knew tea. Just because the correct way to brew tea will make the black tea taste more delicious. The princess thinks there are snacks for little Momo today. Just eating some snacks will help you get rid of the desire to drink tea. As long as she has this, she cannot succumb to today's torture. If she wants something now, it would be best to have a warm drink. The princess thought that this was a good thing from the beginning. Little did she know that this was completely her own destruction. The Holy Sword advises the princess to stay calm. As the leader of the Royal Military Order of Proclamation Knights, she must not be tempted by this kind of thing. The princess forcibly recalls the past scene. Those black teas drank at tea parties. They all drink it just to accompany other people. This time the princess confessed that there is a mysterious treasure hidden in the royal cemetery. As long as you have this secret treasure, you can break through the defensive magic of the king's army. Unexpectedly, the devil abides by the law and is absolutely not allowed to do things like being a tomb raider. The next day it was the arrogant vampire's turn to torture the princess. She met the princess and remembered her name. Vanilla is very excited. The princess must like her. After all, she is the daughter of a famous vampire family. To avenge shame today, the torture prepared by Vanilla is a cake. She was proud that this was no ordinary cake, but as a noble daughter of a famous family, she made it with her own hands. She did it on her own without relying on her parents at all. Once the princess finds out, she will definitely be moved to pieces, and cried and begged to eat. Holy Sword suddenly has a sharp tongue. This cake is a bit king. Not only is the cream smeared messily, there is also a strange object on it that makes it confused. Little did she know it was a penguin. Vanilla thought this was an attempt to fend off her attack by finding fault, but she's not worried at all. Once the princess knows that this was done by her own hands, she will definitely succumb to this sense of nobility immediately. But the more she thought about it, the less confident she became. Unexpectedly, the princess saw the opposite side. Although the cake decoration does have flaws, but the shape of the cream is perfect. You can tell at a glance that the maker carefully frothed the milk. Maybe it's because there's too much cream, so it's plasticized over and over again, causing the overall shape to be somewhat skewed. It's definitely not because the people who did it didn't care. I hope that those who taste it can eat a lot of delicious cream. The other party must be in such a mood. Just spread the cream on the cake again and again. And that's not something weird. The princess can see that it is a cute penguin. Vanilla is once again captured by the princess. The princess guessed all her mood when making the cake herself. She lost this torture. Afterwards, the Demon King heard that Vanilla had failed in torture twice in a row. George thinks this is related to the dignity of the torturer. Vanilla should be punished. Seeing this, the Demon King decided to let the people around her take good care of her. The Demon King's army's torture of prisoners is getting more and more outrageous. The torture event that the princess will undergo today is a sword fight on the beach. The rule is that there are no rules. Whoever pops the balloon on the opponent's head first is the winner. If the princess loses, she must reveal the secret of the kingdom. The princess was curious what she would say if she won. Little did they know that Nguye Yangue was the duo champion of the beach swordsmanship competition held by the devil. They are the strongest duo in the Demon King's army. Therefore, the princess will definitely lose, and the succubus is also confident. If the princess wins, any wish she has can come true. It's okay even if you ask to be released. As the game begins, the two ghosts adopt the combat formation. The young ghost uses his agile movements to attract the princess's attention. Then the ghost takes the opportunity to pop the balloon on the princess's head. Unexpectedly, the princess defeated Nguye with a backhand. The princess of the Holy Sword is the leader of the 3rd Knights of the Royal Army. Only now did the two ghosts believe that the Holy Sword was not a boast all along. Princess, are you dissatisfied with your politeness? The princess has been receiving instruction from top swordsman butlers since she was a child. The butler taught her what swordsmanship is, and how cruel the battle is. Therefore, the two ghosts have absolutely no chance of winning. Yang ghosts don't talk about martial arts, because there are no rules. So she took out her customized special weapon. A Gatling gun that can fire 45 water balls in 1 second. But the princess can handle it with ease. The succubus finally realized something was wrong. Because the princess confessed every day, so she forgot about it. The princess really has awesome swordsmanship. Even though the gun was smoking, it still couldn't pop the princess's balloon. If this continues, the princess will have to be released. Succubus wants to secretly help Yang Gue, but she said from the beginning that the princess opponent is the two ghosts of Yin and Yang. In the end, the succubus gave up. No matter what, the princess cannot be released. The princess was in a good mood at this time. It's been a long time since she moved her muscles like this. But just when she was about to eliminate Yang Gue, the supplementary officer was tortured, and other Demon King army employees came to help in the battle. No matter what, we can no longer let the princess do whatever she wants. The scene was very chaotic. As Yang Gui's balloon is smashed by Xiao Bai, there is no longer any distinction between ourselves and our enemies. Anyway, the princess had a lot of fun today. When the princess got tired of playing, she went back to the cell and put it on. She completely forgot that the succubus said she could release her. The kingdom's knights never expected it. Why is it so difficult to save a princess? Although he failed twice in succession, but he didn't give up. But unexpectedly, he was discovered directly by the devil this time. The knight accidentally didn't sense the devil's aura at all. And the demon in front of him exudes an overwhelming pressure. The cavaliers strike first and gain the upper hand. But a sword strike on the demon king cannot break the defense at all. On the contrary, the devil thought he was lost here. He can understand how uneasy it would be for humans to get lost and come here. But the knight's attack showed no intention of stopping. The devil explained that he passed by here occasionally. He is not here to hurt him. In fact, he just went to the voice actor's autograph session. He used to listen quietly at the back. Today he squeezed into the demon group a little bit. Make him feel more integrated into the concert. The knight didn't believe that the demons would attend any autograph session. It must be some terrible code. So he opened it up with all his strength and unleashed a terrifying slash. Unexpectedly, not even a hair on the devil's head was hurt. Instead, the knight fell off the cliff due to the reaction force of the attack. It was the devil who took action and transferred him safely to the ground. Just because he found the brooch on the knight's neck. It is the team emblem of the protagonist's unit in the animation, starting the cavalry soul cross. The knight is confused. It obviously blends into his outfit perfectly and never been discovered. Little did they know that the Demon King also has one. Just watch the two-dimensional resolution of disputes in the second dimension. The two suddenly started chatting about anime plots. The knight apologized and shouldn't have killed the devil. He realizes that not all demons are enemies. The only enemies of the kingdom are the Demon King and the Demon King's army. Therefore, today's plan to save the princess can only be put on hold for the time being, if he can meet the devil next time. Let's continue talking about anime. I didn't expect that the person in front of me was the Demon King. That night, the little devil felt that the devil was in a good mood. The princess knew that she had made a new friend because of her husband. Vanilla, the daughter of a famous family, can only kill time by playing poker at home every day. Although she really wants to play with her friends, but being restricted by noble birth. Even if her parents ask her not to be bound by the family, Vanilla's self-esteem does not allow it. But she really had fun playing with the princess in the amusement park before, so she decided to torture the princess. But it's definitely not she I want to play with her. Vanilla is so awesome. As long as the princess is willing to tell the secret, she agreed to play poker with the princess. Speaking of the poker, the princess was once bullied by the housekeeper. As a result, she lost all the snacks for the next 2.5 days. The experience of disastrous defeat and the tears shed. But it made the princess spirit become stronger. Although the princess thought poker was fun, but she won't tell the secret just because of this. Vanilla was so surprised that she wanted to continue to seduce the princess. Just recruit whatever you have and don't have it. Even what you had for breakfast today. The princess was speechless. Is this secret really necessary? Then she realized that Vanilla just wanted to play with her. If the princess has no choice but wants to play together, just say so. Vanilla is a proud daughter of a famous family. It's absolutely impossible to play with other people. She is noble and doesn't need friends. The princess saw this and chose to confess. She used to think that noble knights didn't need friends either, and have been struggling with this idea, until she was betrayed by someone he thought was a friend. She just realized that she actually really wanted to have friends. Vanilla was successfully conquered. Finally she opened her heart and felt the same way. Afterwards, George reported that the princess wanted to make friends, but she has been stabbed in the back before, so she has been avoiding it. The devil felt very good after learning about it. It is indeed a happy thing to make friends. If a friend's grooming dog is lying in front of you with his belly exposed, is there anyone here who can resist touching me? The princess will be tortured by dogs today. But after experiencing cat torture, the princess has become a member of the cat party. So she will never give in to a puppy. Chloe asked her to try throwing the ball out. The princess didn't know, so she had to obey and do as she was told. The dog immediately picked up the ball again. Soon the princess fell in love with the cuteness of the dog. The princess was so harsh that she was just careless. As the leader of the 3rd Knights of the Royal Army, although she will come into contact with animals in the military, but in order not to let unnecessary emotions affect the battle, she will keep a distance from animals to avoid getting too close. Therefore, she will never succumb to the cuteness of Little Dog. However, Little Dog showed his big watery eyes that he wanted to play with her. He also took the initiative to lie on the ground and let her touch his belly. The princess is still holding on. She kept her distance from animals on the battlefield not because they were unlovable, but she has been trying hard not to let herself feel her true feelings. So this kind of torture is very difficult for her. After the Demon King learns the secret, he plans to send Shadow Ninja Kako to complete it. But George looked embarrassed. Just because Jako has offered to resign from the Demon King army and wants to become a picture book writer. This is his childhood dream. Although he was forced to give up because he inherited the Shadow Ninja family business. But he still can't let go of his dream. Jaku was afraid that the Demon King would be angry and wanted to withdraw his resignation. After all, he clearly swore loyalty to the devil. Sudden resignation will definitely cause trouble for the devil. It might be too late to change jobs now. The Demon King encourages that the sooner you act, the more opportunities you have. But this is not a reason for him to give up pursuing his dream. Therefore, the Demon King agreed to let Jaka pursue his dream. The princess has a very awesome ability to realize when that one is dreaming. Once you react, you will feel that the dream world is very strange. Not only are there so many pandas, even the housekeeper turned into a strange puppet. Half of the succubus's body sank into the wall. The little zombie fell headfirst into the floor. In her dream, her torture today was a pudding sundae. Since the princess is proud, it is just a dream. It means she can surrender and enjoy the delicious food. Unexpectedly, the succubus from the outside world is around. The succubus just wanted to wake her up and torture her. The princess just talked in her sleep and revealed all the secrets. The king went for a walk in the rose garden every morning. The captain of the 2nd Defense Force is used to warming his eyes before zooming in on his moves. The king likes to take hot baths. My sister is studying abroad to study. There was another thing that she was embarrassed to tell the Holy Sword because she was shy. As the leader of the knights, every time she was in a difficult situation, it was with the encouragement of the Holy Sword that she could work hard to get through it. And thank to the succubus for always preparing delicious food for her to eat. It's always fun to be with a succubus. The succubus was happy to hear a terrible secret. Anyway, enough secrets for today. Look at the princess looking so happy right now. The succubus couldn't bear to destroy it and gave up today's torture. Afterwards, the princess slept until late at night before waking up. She thought the succubus had temporarily cancelled the torture because she was sleeping. So she is proud that today is her big victory. The Demon King's army accidentally went berserk because of the magic they were studying. All the demons in Demon King City have turned into children. The princess has heard about it. Faced the limited edition succubus lowly. She didn't think she would give in to a child. Although the succubus also found it difficult to get the princess to confess in this situation. Even the devil gave everyone a day off today. But she still wants to try hard to see what she can do. The princess has no choice but to see children who are working hard and always wants to cheer for them unconditionally. But no matter how hard the succubus tries today, she won't do it. The torture arranged by the succubus today is candy. Little candies like stars. If you eat it, it will be sweet and happy. The princess was attacked by cuteness. She really couldn't stand facing the little succubus. The succubus is proud that today's torture is more than just that. She also prepared string candies. The princess wants to pick one of the ropes and pull it out. The candies connected to each rope are of different flavors and sizes. The princess was so angry that she directly drew the biggest candy. The succubus is very excited and admires the princess's European style. Seeing this, the princess gave the candy to the succubus. Little George immediately reported that there was a secret army in the kingdom, the Zero Knights. The little devil just thinks this name is too cool. Sheng Jian just felt that now was the best time for the princess to escape. The other little friends came to play with the princess. Then Holy Sword gave up thinking directly. It seems that the princess is not planning to escape. The next day the succubus grew up a lot. She guessed the magic will be completely gone tomorrow. When he was young, the zombie guy turned out to be a trendy boy. Holy Sword complains about why succubus wear uniforms. Could it be that even the clothes are affected by magic and become youthful? The succubus explained that it was just a rare opportunity. But when it came to today's torture, the succubus suddenly looked downcast. The food for today's torture is potato stew. The princess was immediately hit by the fragrance. The succubus suddenly stopped shyly. It turns out that her craftsmanship has also regressed to the level of her age. So it might not be that delicious. At this time the princess noticed the succubus's cut left hand. Just because she rarely cooks at this age, the succubus planned to avoid the torture today. She was worried that this bowl of stew would not taste good. The princess encouraged her to be more confident. Even if she didn't have any cooking skills, she still worked hard to cook it. The princess has felt her feelings. Therefore, she will definitely confess. Holy Sword is really stupid. At this moment, he didn't even know which side the princess was from. The princess gave it a 5-star rating after tasting it. It tastes soft and fluffy and the stew is very delicious. The seasoned sauce instantly melts when you eat it will spread in the mouth. The princess thought it was a delicacy worthy of her surrender. Directly guide the succubus in situ. At this time, the Demon King also returned to the body of a young man. Even though I don't have much to do, I'm still very energetic. On the third day, the succubus finally returned to her royal sister form. Although she am very grateful to the princess for taking care of her these 2 days. But she still won't show mercy during today's torture. The topic she wants to torture today is pizza. The princess panicked. She liked this so much. The Holy Sword doesn't want to complain. She likes so many things. What kind of food does she dislike? Princess embarrassment is cough syrup. Holy Sword has given up hope and will definitely confess today. The princess in turn asked him not to give up, even if she likes pizza. But there are many different flavors of pizza. If she doesn't like it, she can still make a comeback. Unexpectedly, the succubus just took out a takeout flyer. The princess can order whatever aftertaste she likes. Now the princess can't stand it anymore. Even the pizza is stuffed with cheese. and all pizzas are on sale. The princess reassures the holy sword. She can't order her favorite pizza. So many pizzas are like choosing one from many nationals. As a member of the royal family, she cannot do such a thing. But the succubus brought out the double pizza and continued to seduce. The princess couldn't help herself. If she chose 2 citizens, she wouldn't be lonely. Not only that, this store also has 4 types of pizza platters. She can enjoy 4 times the pleasure at the same time. The princess couldn't hold herself any longer and confessed immediately. The king has a secret base for meditation. At the same time, Jiako, who resigned, came to report the good news. His picture book submission miraculously won the award. But the Demon King believes that there are no miracles in this world. Everything is the result of his own efforts. The princess woke up and found herself in a shabby hut. It turns out that the devil summoned everyone who had been practicing for 2.5 years for a basketball game. Ji Yang suddenly said that lightning struck them. When they regained consciousness, they came to a different world. Follow the routines in anime. As long as they save the world, they can go home. Therefore, the devil had already investigated the surrounding situation while the princess was sleeping. This world is dominated by the King of Darkness, making it very difficult for humans. You want to go to the castle of the Dark King. If you want to go to the Dark King's castle, you must defeat the 5 Dark Kings who live in the Dark Tower. The Demon King killed them on the way to inquire about the 5 Heavenly Kings. Then he met a Golden Lion King. The other party said that the 5 Heavenly Kings' dark power is only 15, and his dark power is as high as 100 points. After defeating the Golden Retriever Lion King, a portal leading to the Dark Castle appears. The Demon King arrived at the castle and met Joshae, the loyal servant of the Dark King. This is a group of strong men whose dark power has expanded to more than 5,000. In short, he still successfully broke through and came to the palace of the Dark King. The 9 evils were dealt with in one way or another in an instant. The King of Darkness is so arrogant that his dark power has reached 98 levels. Only the holy sword in the sky can hurt him. Then the Demon King and the Dark King broke out into battle. As the Dark King said, no matter what slashing magic he uses, it can't cause any damage. The Dark King took out his dark and hard sword to fight back. Unexpectedly, the devil clamped the sword with only 2 fingers. Afterwards, Euler's output successfully defeated the Dark King. The princess didn't expect that the devil saved the world after sleeping for 2 hours. The Demon King explains that he would be more cautious in normal times. But after hearing about the evil deeds of the Dark King, he could not forgive him. Besides, this is the reincarnation in another world that he has longed for. He accidentally went too cool. As the world is saved, the 2 return safely. The devil can't wait to continue competing in singing, dancing and basketball with everyone. The Perseus family is the descendant of the first generation of Demon King's confidants. He is a well-deserved nobleman among vampires. It is said that this family will do whatever it takes to achieve their goals. They are the most cruel and ruthless clan in the Demon King's army. The contemporary head of the family suddenly told his wife, "Tomorrow we will rent out the family-owned skating rink." His wife is in embarrassment and has already been booked by a tour group for tomorrow. Unexpectedly, Vanilla suddenly asked her father for tickets to the skating rink. She wants to play with her friends. She made a new friend a while ago. The next day Vanilla took the princess to the skating rink, and proud of the fact that the family has become more popular than the vampire industry recently. Instead, she put more energy into my sports career. This is her family's property. She relied on her own strength to successfully book the venue. The princess admires how awesome Bonnie is. She was embarrassed that she was born into a good family. The princess admired her for predicting that she wanted to skate. But even so, just skating couldn't make her give in. Vanilla is an idiot. In fact, she overheard it before and thought she could play with the princess. But unexpectedly it turned into torture again. The princess let her go in and play. If you are attracted into it, you lose. Vanilla had no choice but to enter the skating rink alone. But then she realized that she just wanted to play with the princess. But she forgot that she had never been to the skating rink. Soon Vanilla lost her balance and fell backwards. She regretted that if she had known this would happen, she would not have had the courage to do something she was not used to. At the critical moment, the princess arrived in time and successfully caught her. Compared to the princess, she lost the torture. What's more important is that Vanilla didn't fall. After seeing this, the princess agreed to tell her. Today's secret is the kingdom's magical skating skill, the blue butterfly crossing the clouds. She never expected that his holy sword could also skate. On this day, the succubus tortured her and found that the princess seemed to be in a bad condition. The princess has a tough mouth as the leader of the 3rd Knights of the kingdom. It is absolutely impossible to feel uncomfortable if you are in high spirits at all times. But she couldn't hide it from the eyes of the succubus. Sure enough, the princess is sick and has a fever. The holy sword, which usually relies on the princess for strength, has also become sluggish. The succubus intimate interrogation interruption today. But the princess felt that it was a shame and a great humiliation to be pitted by her enemies. Princess Maizizi used to go camping in the wild. Although she had developed a physique that she can sleep soundly even on the floor. but it turns out it's more comfortable to be in bed. Not only that, the succubus also prepared udon noodles and pudding for the princess to eat. In order to take care of the princess, the succubus directly chooses to work in the cell. See the princess sleeping peacefully after taking medicine. The succubus showed a happy smile. The devil heard that the princess was ill and hoped that she would recover soon. It seems that the severe temperature difference between day and night in the demon world is still too much for humans to bear. The demon king believes that humans are a fragile and short-lived species. So out of mercy, even if the princess recovers from her illness, there is no need to recycle the quilts. Although the princess quickly recovered her energy, she found that the succubus became lethargic again. Succubus Tan, the demon king army will announce personnel changes tomorrow. Today may be the last time she tortures the princess. The princess couldn't believe that she was already the chief official. It should not be affected, but nothing is guaranteed. Although the torture officer is full-time, accidents will inevitably happen. Sometimes there will also be airborne troops transferred back from the front line. Not only her, but others may also be transferred. Even if the princess is sad and separated, she still has to have lunch with her. The succubus braces herself for what may be the final torture. This time the princess is serious. When she learned that it was the last time, she made up her mind to resume action. She won't give in no matter what she say today. At least it's impossible for her alone. When the succubus sees this, then she can only gather everyone together for this final torture. I want to go to the princess. Want to go. Princess. We want to go to Her Majesty the Princess. Bring it on. I am not only the princess, but also the knight leader of the Third Order of the King's Army. This level of torture, I won't give in. Is it suddenly on fire? Afterwards, when the succubus saw the notice, her hanging heart finally died. She finally let it go. The princess is happy that everyone can continue to enjoy the torture together, but she won't give in.